Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Battle for Azeroth data mining stuff. As in, lots of the things have been data mined out and it is time to have a look at that. I'm doing this on MMO Champion and, well, their website, and link will be in the description below. So if you want to check it for yourself, there you go. So I'm gonna just have a kind of brief look at this stuff and do a little bit of commentary on it because, well, Battle for Azeroth has some things which has made me interested in World of Warcraft again for sure. So I wanna see what's up here. So first of all we have this guy and this person here. As in, he's starting to look like his dad. And I think they kind of missed out on an opportunity here for in essence, because making him be his dad or making him seem like his dad, they could have gone other directions finally. They could have taken the alliance a little different ways. And if he ends up just being a copy of his dad, I don't like. There is so much lost story potential there. So from that point of view, hopefully, even though he starts looking something like that, hopefully they do something different. And of course we have the horsey for alliance thing, which kind of okay, kind of nice. Would preferred something else. And of course there is this Ravasaro thing, which is kind of awesome looking. Most of the raptors in the game, at least from my point of view, do not look very awesome, and I have always hated the up and down bouncing they did with them. So maybe this will be different. That could be quite nice. And this thing with the wings, this looks awesome. For once, it actually looks like a flying mount, which, when it's on the ground, it looks kind of realistic from the point of view that it's, if you look at the line of the back and the tail, yeah, this is how it would be on the ground. Now, Jaina has gotten a really big update here, and I am kind of okay with that. I'm kind of liking that actually. Because I think what they have done with Jaina over the past years, has been just horrible. Jaina has always been kind of one of the cornerstones, essentially, of the story and so forth. And the lore-wise and story-wise, the decisions which have been made for her are just silly from time. Well, at least from my point of view. Um, I have no idea who this guy is, unfortunately. Somebody tell me in the comment section, because I just have no idea. He's apparently somebody, and this might be Jaina's mother, maybe? Or some completely different person, I just don't realize who they are. And then of course we have a whatchamacallit. But this is going to be horrifying for some people. I know there are quite a few people in the world who are afraid of bees, and the fact we finally get a whole bunch of bee mounts is going to be kind of hilarious. So this is going to be very horrifying for some people, unfortunately so, but I find it kind of amusing actually. This honey pot on the top, this is just the best thing ever. Like, you can fly around and eat honey. That is going to be so amazingly awesome. This thing is missing the honey pot. It's a black pea, a bee. So, blood trolls. I honestly don't know what to make of blood trolls. Like, really? Because we didn't have enough trolls yet, anyway, and so you had to do blood trolls on top of that. I don't honestly know. Like some, like, and since they are blood trolls, they have to be covered in blood and all of this stuff. Obviously, I don't know. They like from my point of view, this is a little bit overdone. Like, they could have used something else than trolls for a change. And maybe if you do blood trolls, don't make it quite so this. Make it more like the blood is something they do with, you know, as a ritual thing or something along those lines, instead of just, you know, being a covered in it in this fashion, so to say. Because this is kind of silly, in all honesty, at least from my point of view. Like, the blood could have been built into the lore as or the race as something completely else. As, for example, just make it so that they drink animal blood. Something along these lines to, you know, try and become stronger. That would be a belief of theirs and whatnot. But instead, what they did is just something like this. And I am not a big fan, in all honesty. Yeah, well. Cool Tiran. Yeah, you can go to Cool Tiras now, which is kind of amusing. These are some fairly okay visuals. I'll be honest, I was never a fan of humans in World of Warcraft. Simply because I happen to be role-playing one in the real world, so I don't role-play them in video games for that reason, if I can get away with playing something completely else. And these looks very emaciated, like the sort of, you know, undead thing, nearly. Like, if you look at that, this is basically the undead model with the broken things, like with the cloth patch over where the bony shoulders would be looking. Like, that's basically how this looks to me. So yeah, nothing really against how they did those. They look kind of nice. Like, this looks awesome, but some of this other stuff, like as I said, this basically looks kind of like the undead model. Alright, moving on to the Zandalari trolls, and these are finally trolls I actually like the look of. They are different. They are different from what we have right now, which is, well, pose is still basically the same, but other than that, like what they have done with the hairstyles, the face and so on, and the skin stuff, this is very nice. I like from that point of view. Like, they are different, and they aren't overdone different the way the blood trolls above are. Like, yeah, these are very clearly trolls, but they are also very clearly different to what we already have, and I am happy with that. Like, that was awesome. Like, and of course these things have wrong standing pose. They should be hunched over. That's how all trolls should be, actually, both male and female. But yeah, that's just my view, because it's always been one of the things. And what is this armor? Like, you realize if you build spikes like that, somebody hits you with a sword here, the sword gets directed into your neck and not actually stopped by the shoulder blades this way like it should be. But hey, let's not talk about realism and World of Warcraft, eh? So these Sephrak things, it's a cobra on 2 feet. I'm actually okay with that. I actually like that, and the fact that they used Seth very clearly, you know, Seth, whichever way you want to actually write it, I really like that. Like, it's very nicely built into it, and the fact there is enough variation of these folks to really make it different looking. So yeah, of course, in all honesty, I find this physique a little weird, but then again, it is also a snake which for some reason has legs and hands, so I guess we'll have to go with it. And Vulpera, I wonder this is so going to be an allied race, isn't it? Like, the amusing thing here is, if you look at it, it is very clearly the goblin model we already have. Like, from neck down, this is the goblin model. Basically, just the goblin model with a different head. And even the head has the same huge ears. But the from neck down, this is the goblin model. And I am very surprised if this does not show up as an allied race at some point or another. Then again, I don't actually have anything against this. It is different looking from the goblin. It is different looking from the gnome and dwarf, the small races we already have, like with the little tail and everything. I kind of like what they did this with this thing. So I'm okay with that. And especially I like this hood style. This actually looks like the hood was really made to have the holes for the ears, instead of the ears just, you know, poking through it like they do in most of the current, well, game what we have at the moment. And there is a whole lot of different colors of these things. That looks awesome, actually. That looks fantastic. Oh yeah. And then we get to animals. There is a lot of funky looking animals here, which, you know, just added to the game. That will be quite nice. Like, I like what they did with these cats. That is actually a cat, instead of being a saber cat, which we have too many of in the game by now. And new spiders. So I'm all over new spiders. Fantastic stuff. I also realized that those are going to be horrifying for some people, again. And this thing, whatever this thing is, I want one. This is awesome. Make a Blizzard, please make a plushie out of this. I will buy a plushie out of this. Only plushie I have so far of your merchandise stuff is Zergling, because it's well, it's the Zergling Baneling thing. It's adorable and it's cuddly, and I want one of these. Thanks. So yeah, and this is a new version of the. Is it Sky Reaver? Was it Sky Reaver? What the places was the this particular variation of the Drake called? But I really like that armor. I really do like that how that armor is done. Like, it really protects the front parts, like it should. And who cares about the rear? If you get shot in the back, you get shot in the back anyway. So from that point of view, I quite like what they did with that. And then we have other things, like, if this is a mount, I'm going to be really pissed, because that does not look like it will be able to carry anything but a gnome. Or actually, who knows, because, well, it's a gnome. And this thing is definitely a mount for somebody, somewhere. It does look awesome though. It does look fantastic though. So much stuff, so many new animals, and I'm okay with that, because the world was starting to get a little bit stale in that way. And of course these are animals. They are in the animal category after all. So yeah. And new sharks. New sharks. Oh yeah. Hammerhead shark. Oh yeah. I can't wait to have a battle with a shark on the water somewhere. That's going to be amusing. And this thing, is this the new Naga? Like some variation of Naga we're gonna get? This needs to be an allied race, please. Let us play a water only race. No questing on the land. You're only allowed to be under the water. Sounds very boring, but also sounds amazing at the same time. Entire underwater leveling process. But this looks very nice. If this is the new Naga model and it replaces basically a lot of the very old Naga models, I would be all over it. But probably not. This is probably something else which just happens to be in Kulteras or somewhere along those lines with water in it. So there is that. Overall, I'm kind of happy with what I see here. Like, some of these additions to the world, like, This is a very good looking skeleton, damn. Like, yes, please. I want to fight this kind of a skeleton instead of what we have mostly in the world at the moment. So, yeah. And overall, though, I will have to say the blood trolls are a disappointment. But most of these other things I am quite happy with. And I'll have to hope that they do something with the Alliance King so he doesn't just turn out to be another carbon copy of his dad. Because, well, yeah, that might be a thing. Anyway, I'm just gonna call it right here. Thank you very much for watching. If you were interested in this sort of stuff, this is just my thoughts on it, obviously. And it's going to be a while until this expansion even is out. Although you can pre-order it right now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.